We have some Friday night shenanigans going on. I have 2 chickens that are wanting to set. We butchered our roosters, and the young roosters that are coming up are not quite mature or whatever, so to make sure we have fertile eggs, we did an egg swap with Mary's brother Marcus and Dora. So we are going to go out there and we're going to set 2 of them, thinking if I have enough chickens that hatch out now, I might not have to do the whole incubator thing this next spring, next winter. It's just so nice if the hens do the work. They take so much better care of them, and the chicks do quite a bit better. We got green eggs and ham. We have green ones, green brown mix, brown. Here we have some white ones over here. We're gonna go out and put these underneath the chickens right now. Here we have the chickens all snug in their new coop. One, 2. Slide those underneath. I'm going to put 8. Hopefully she won't peck me. Feeling underneath there. Settle down. I think she feels that they're cold. And then we have another one here, but I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this one. I don't have a nesting box. I'm gonna have to go build another nesting box. Ooh, that's not cool. Set her. If we can get them all. There we go. This one. It is a rainy Saturday afternoon. We've got a couple of chickens that decided that they'd like to hatch out a few more eggs. I need to build some nice nesting boxes for them. I've been using cardboard boxes, but they don't work very well for more than 1 or 2 times. So I've got some plywood here. I'm going to be making some new ones, extra ones. this one right here. It has got the bearing, 2 carbide blades, and what I'll do is I'll stick it in here, and it'll just buzz it off completely clean. It's a perfectly flush edge. I got to get this router bit off. Came out okay. Put this one in here. These you have to put in fairly tight because they're really, really high RPM, and they have a way of working their way loose. I am not sure what's going on, but the last while, that doesn't want to slide onto here. So I'm thinking I may just have to put some oil on the whole thing. Yesterday I was working, trying to do some work with the router, and it got stuck in line so bad I ended up, that worked better. Anyway, got myself a blood blister going on one of my hands. Not cool. Pretty painful. I was trying to get this thing on, and I was trying to push it, all of a sudden it slammed down, and my finger got caught between these two, like right there. So I'm in the process of drilling some new skin where that skin got pinched off. See, there it goes again. Wants to stick. There it goes. Need to find a battery, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Larger. These are, I think, this hole here, I think I'm going to have to cut it a little bit bigger. I don't think it's quite big enough for a full-size chicken to get in and out of here. Plus, I need it a little bit lower so that the little chicks can get in and out. Two new nesting boxes. I like to put these in. Something I've discovered is chickens like to lay their eggs in a private, in a little bit dark area. If it's just in broad daylight, yeah, they will do it for the most part, but I've discovered if they have an option of finding a kind of a quiet, like a dark private place, they will usually go to that dark private place. And so we're going to be, we have 2 hens that are broody, and so we're going to be working on getting those in a private, quiet place. And I'm thinking the greenhouse might fit the bill. Might not be quite as dark as they like, but they'll have privacy and lots of space. Today of all days has been very rainy. Would have been nice to have some of this rain last summer, when it would have benefited the grass, but that's the way it is here. Hardly rain in the summertime, but then when it's cold, it starts raining and snowing. So tonight I had 6 chickens that didn't come in here. A couple of them were in that box. A couple of them were sitting out in the rain. Might take them a day or two to get acclimated and figure out that this is their new home. But we have a hen sitting right here. So it's the second night in the new coop. Some of the chickens, I had half a dozen of them that didn't want to come in here. They tried to go sit out in right in the area where the other coop was. Kind of sitting out in the rain, so I brought them over in here. Probably going to take them a couple of nights to get accustomed to the new one. But here is the hen. I think what we're going to do is, it should actually be pretty dark. This is another one that is, she's not broody, but she's been setting for a couple of days now. We're going to slide the eggs underneath her, and Hopefully she'll feel those warm eggs and she'll just settle right back down. Ooh, they're nice and warm. I've had these boxes on top of here. I have two other ones that are in use. I built two more today, as you guys are gonna see. Most times a hen, if she goes broody, they'll go into these. Kind of why I built them. Something that is more confined, like they've got a smaller hole, feels more private. And most times they'll be in there and I'll just pick up the whole box and gently move them out to a location that I want. So hopefully she will, is she settling in? The reason that we don't leave the setting hens in here, other chickens go in, they lay eggs, and pretty soon you've got so many eggs in there. Some people try to mark them, but once or twice a day I'd have to come out here, or somebody have to come out here, pull out all the eggs that aren't marked. What happens is you've got, if she has a couple eggs that actually make it all the way through, you'll have a whole bunch that are partially incubated. She'll end up with 2.5 dozen eggs underneath her if you don't keep track of the eggs. So it's a lot better to give them the eggs that they're supposed to sit on, move them into a private, secluded spot where no other chickens can get to them. And the other thing that I learned the hard way is you don't want two setting hens within hearing of each other. I had 3 hens one time that I lined up beside each other where they could hear each other. Well, the one's eggs started hatching, and when the other hens that were sitting on their eggs heard the chirping 1 and 2 boxes over, they got off their nest and they all sat in the same nest. And then the other 2 didn't finish incubating, even though they were like a day and a half close. So it's kind of a hard lesson learned. Don't have hens sitting close enough together that one hen can hear the other hen's chicks chirping, because they'll think that they're sitting on the wrong nest. Try not to bump it too much. This old truck topper works very, very well for this. It's a very private, secluded spot. The next thing I'm going to do is we have another hen over here that has 3 chicks that are a couple of weeks old. We have them in this small container, and we are no longer using the greenhouse. I'm going to move her over into the greenhouse. I have to keep them secluded in a safe place. Otherwise, well, there's the danger that the cat's going to get them, because, well, cats are cats and they will kill small things if they're small enough. So, what I've been doing is, if we have chickens that have young chicks, probably for 2 months, I keep them penned up before I free range them. That way they're big enough that they can kind of fend for themselves against the cat. Can you see him in there? Couple little chickies. Let me see if I can. I'm wondering what's going on. Tomorrow morning you'll have lots of nice room in here with more daylight. The greenhouse is done, and this is a nice safe place for them. The chicks are safe in here. The cat can't get in. I'm gonna close that down there. And they can run around in here scratching. There might be some bugs left in here, but they'll get more sunlight. And I'll keep them in here for a couple of weeks longer until they can free range and go into the chicken coop. They're getting all their pecking order figured out. A lot of times chickens will kind of sit in the same general area. And when you move them, there's a bunch of squawking. There's a bunch of squawking and fighting and pecking going on until they figure out who's going to sit where.
Kind of like everyone does in church. Everyone's got their own spot, huh?
Yeah. Need to just build a little door so I can shut this. Leftover materials from the project. Very basic. I took a couple of 2x4s, grooved it out. This is going to go here. Put these on there, and then we're I am got this old Betsy here. Most of my drills are on the job right now. We're doing a membrane roof in town, and I kind of depleted my drill supply, so I still have this old thing. Not sure, would that hold a bear if a bear was trying to get in? I do have the bottom sill here with the intent that nothing can get his paw underneath it and lift it up. If it was like this, they can get their claw in and lift it up. So I intentionally left the bottom plate on it so it goes down past that. If something decides to try to get in here. Not quite sure. I was thinking I was maybe going to put a bungee rope across, like here, that would catch it and let it hang down. Might be easier just to do that. We have this set of lights in our other coop. If you take a look, the lights here are on a timer. Gives them 15 hours of light every day. So the light bulbs are kind of out all the way, which is not ideal. But this time of year, with less daylight, they will start dropping in egg production. And we put this in here, give them 15 hours of light. In about a week's time, we should be up to maximum egg production. A lot of these we hatched out with the incubator. This hen right here, if you zoom in, she's black with some brown on her neck feathers. As soon as she started feathering out, I noticed that. And so that's one that has distinctive marks. We have a couple that are crosses from Americanas. See, they got the puffy little cheeks right there. I always think that looks pretty cool. This one right here, we hatched out in January or February. And if you see her feather configuration, like the pattern in her feather, they're darker and lighter on the edges. Very, very unique feathers. And she has a different pattern in the back, slightly different shade. So she's a hen that really, like, very, very unique feathers. A lot of these have, I don't know what kind they are, but they are, they're Buff Orpington, Rhode Island Red, and some other thing. I don't know what the white ones are, but I have a bunch of white ones that they're whitish tan with some dark like tan, darker brown accent feathers. Instead of the crazy chicken lady, I might be the crazy chicken guy, but you know what? I honestly believe there's worse hobbies that a person can have. And here is one of the nesting boxes I made. These are some really nice chickens. They're pretty tame. If you guys remember, about a year and a half ago, we had a couple of dogs that showed up and killed just a lot of chickens. And one of our church family, they had some chickens. It was either the crock pot, and they thought, well, what? We had a bunch that got killed, so they gave us 8 of them, and we still have them. They're the really dark red, dark brownish reddish feathers. They're very unique, very docile bird. And so I put some of those eggs in the incubator. And we have a few of them that are from them. And you can see the feathers. They're the really dark auburn, dark reddish. And this one back here has a slight black tail feather. But we're disturbing their peace. Most of them are lined up on this front when we come in here. Now they're all starting to hop into the back. We have got this project done for tonight. Got the door installed. One of these days we're going to get out here and get everything cleaned up and organized.